Hello there, welcome to our BT Sport Facebook Live. My name is Lynsey Hipgrave. I'm joined by former Wales international Robbie. We are here at the BT Sport Goals Recreated stand in Cardiff Bay. We've had hundreds of fans over the last couple of days coming down here trying to recreate Steve McManaman's Champions League final goal for Real Madrid in 2000 against Valencia. A cracking volley it was with the outside of his right foot. Robbie, you're going to have to try and recreate it in just a bit. You've already done it perfectly, but I'm afraid we've got no evidence.
Well, I believe there's a video going about that I've done it first time absolutely perfectly. I'm waiting for the video to come down the line. So if I miss on the 4 attempts I've got, I'm just going to put that one on social media for everybody to see. My technique was outstanding.
Well, unfortunately, the camera wasn't on at that point, so you will have to do it again. But what an atmosphere it is down here, and what a showcase this is for the city of Cardiff, Robbie.
Unbelievable. You know, we come to the Cardiff Bay area yesterday, and you know, I commentated on the Legends game with Darren Fletcher, and you see the legends that were playing. Obviously, you know, our BT Sport guys, Steve McManaman and David James played in goal. Played quite well, JMO.
Louis Figo scored a cracker, didn't he?
Let's go on to the big players now after David James. Louis Figo, Roberto Carlos. You know, so many. The Desai play, and so many legends. But the turnout from the public here, Lynsey, is unbelievable.
And what a job Cardiff are doing. It's a fantastic atmosphere, isn't it? And in the stadium as well. The roof is going to be closed this evening. What is that going to do to the atmosphere? You know what it's like to play there.
Well, I've got to say it's one of the best stadiums for atmosphere, especially when that roof's closed. I played at the Millennium Stadium 15 times for Wales, against Italy, against Germany, against Argentina, Brazil. And the atmosphere inside that stadium when the roof is closed is something I've never experienced before. It's unbelievable. It's very compact. Now, these new stadiums, I know it's not a new stadium, the Principality Stadium, but, you know, it's one of the new of its early, when it was built first.
It's very British, isn't it? The fans are very close to the pitch.
Very close. There's no running track. It is absolutely outstanding. And the Juve and Real Madrid fans will create an unbelievable atmosphere.
Just how evenly matched are these two sides?
Yeah, you've got to say Juve defensively. You know, when they played against Barca, you know, Barca didn't score over the two legs. To keep Neymar, Suarez, and Messi out, you know, is some feat. But can they keep Bale, Benzema? And I think it'll be Isco tonight. I think Gareth Bale will probably start on the bench. He's not 100% fit.
That's the one big decision he's got, isn't it? Zinedine Zidane, whether it's Bale or Isco.
I just think that Isco, they played exceptionally well with Isco in the side at the minute. So there's no reason why Isco really should lose his place. Obviously the sentimental part, I mean, we'd love to see Gareth Bale start the game.
But how fit is he? That's the thing. He's been out for 6 weeks. And what an option to have off the bench.
Yeah, but if I was Gareth Bale, I would be saying I'm 100% fit. We seen a bit on BT Sport last night. You were at the stadium, weren't you? The clip of him in training scoring that wonderful goal in the top corner. So that looked like to me he was fit.
Yeah,
but
it gives easy a decision to make, wasn't he, in training?
I think he'll probably start on the bench and Isco will start.
Tough decision for him. We keep talking as well, though, about this Juventus defence. They've only conceded 3 goals in the Champions League so far. But as we saw in that Barcelona game, they can hurt Real Madrid going forward as well.
Yeah, they can, you know, especially with Diabala and Higuain. But, you know, if you're Real Madrid, if you had a choice who to play in the final, I know you got there, but would you say if it was Bayern Munich, who would you fancy? If it was Barcelona, who would you fancy? I think Real Madrid, you know, are favourites, because Juve, okay, they are good defensively, 3 goals conceded, as you've said, but I just think that going forward, I think Real Madrid just...
But can they get past that Juve BBC? Yeah. They've got their own BBC at the back, Bonucci, Barzali and Chiellini as well, and then of course Buffon, and that is the romantic story, isn't it? There's so much love for him. So many people want to see Buffon at 39 years old lift the one trophy that's eluded him.
Well, to be fair, Lynsey and Buffon have got something in common. Neither of us have lifted the European Cup, so it's he's in quite good company there, doesn't he, Lynsey? Nobody said I'd love to see me lift the European Cup, did they? But yeah.
It's everything else that he's won, and the fact that he is still at the top of his game, that's the thing. We talk about him like he's on the way out, but he's still one of the best keepers in the world, if not the best.
Unbelievable, Lynsey, you know, his longevity. You know, you look at goalkeepers, you know, our very own David James, he had a long career, didn't he? They keep himself so fit. And if he won tonight, obviously for him it would be wonderful. But, you know, personally, I'd like to see Real Madrid winning because of Gareth Bale.
Do you think Gareth Bale will be staying at Real Madrid? Some people saying, what does this all mean for his future? The fact that Real Madrid have been playing so well without him in the side. Do you see him staying there?
I think if they win the Champions League, you know, then, you know, Ronaldo, you know, will Ronaldo stay? And and continue his legacy at Real Madrid. You know, when Ronaldo has 1 or 2 bad games for Real Madrid, the fans do seem to get on his back. You know, Benzema, you know, has he got another season at Real Madrid? Bale, you know, Manchester United, for me, I'd love to see a Bale back in the Premier League with Manchester United. I think that would be a great move. You know, I see 1 or 2 people linking in with Manchester United, but he just signed a new contract not long ago with Real. When he's fully fit, Lyns, he is still one of the best players in the world, but he just needs to stay fit for a longer period of time. What
about if you just start Isco, though? What are they missing when Bale isn't in the side in terms of playing on the counter-attack?
Yeah, the counter-attack, his pace, and you've got to do something special, magical to open up that Juve defence, as you rightly said. So sometimes, though, when he does play for Real, when he's coming back from injury, it just seems to play with a handbrake on a little bit. But you know, I think he'll come off the bench tonight. Hopefully, come off the bench and score a winning goal in Cardiff. What a fantastic moment that would be.
And what about Higuain? What are your thoughts on him? He does have his critics. Some people saying he's a bit overweight at the moment, but he has scored 32 goals for them. He's their top scorer. He delivers.
I think, as I was saying before, if you're that Real Madrid defence, if you were playing against Neymar, Suarez and Messi tonight, or Lewandowski, Robbie, you'd probably think it's going to be difficult. But Higuain, he's not going to run in behind you. You know, he's going to link up play. So if they're on their game, I think they could keep Higuain out. Yes, he scores goals, but
can they keep Dybala out though?
Yeah, he's decent. He's a very, very, very good player, isn't he? And you know, the way he glides with the ball. But it's going to be a very good game, I think.
Absolutely. What about Max Allegri as well? Does he get the credit he deserves? He took them to their second Champions League final in 3 years now, Juventus. When he took the job in the first place, his car was pelted with eggs. The fans didn't want him. But
I know what it's like with the Oilers.
That was just coming down here today.
Yeah, that was just today. Well, all right then.
I'm about to get changed. What we done with you?
I don't know.
But does he get enough credit? Should he be looked at as one of the best coaches in the world at the moment?
You've got to say the standard of Serie A, is it as good as La Liga? Is it as good as the Premier League? Okay, you know, AC Milan aren't what they were, Inter Milan aren't what they were, okay, Napoli, and you know, there are good sides.
Roma aren't bad either.
Roma, of course, but I just think that if he moved to not a bigger club, because you're one of the biggest clubs in the world, but in a league which is, you know, because in our Premier League next year, possibly 5 or 6 teams could win the league. Okay, in Spain, probably Barca or Real. I just think that I'd love to see him in the Premier League. Look how Conte's done with Chelsea.
What about the job Zidane has done as well? He's been incredibly successful. Some people doubted him, whether he'd be able to do it. What's been key, do you think, to the way he's been so successful?
I think he's strengthened the defence and the middle of the park, I think, and he's allowed Ronaldo and Bale and Isco and Benzema, you know, just to be free spirits up there. But you know, he has been brilliant. It was the first time they won the La Liga since 2012.
Yeah.
You know, for them to overturn Barcelona has been brilliant. And listen, Zidane's a legend, and he just standing there on the touchline in his suit, and he exudes confidence. And you know, the team represents his manager.
He's managed to really rotate the squad and manage that really well, hasn't it? Because their subs bench is phenomenal, but he seems to be keeping everyone happy.
Well, as you say, and he's got a choice tonight whether to play Gareth Bale, the most expensive player in the world, or Isco. So what a choice he's got.
Right, Robbie, you're going to have to try and do it again, because the time has come. We know you've done it once, but there isn't any proof. So you're going to try and recreate Steve McManaman's goal from the 2000 Champions League final.
Hit it off my shin, basically.
Outside of your boot, there it is. We can see it. We can see it in the screen there. You're going to go over and do that. I'm going to hand you over while Robbie does this to Adam Summerton, who's going to commentate on Robbie's several attempts at this.
Thank you, Lynsey. So the stage is set. You know, last couple of days, so many people have come up to me and said, when is Robbie Savage going to have a go? Well, now is the time, and he's all set for his first attempt. In it comes, the right foot, wide on the first one. Let's call that a sighter. Ready for his second. Oh, and that one a little bit closer. Third attempt for Robbie Savage. Sensational Savage in Cardiff, a former Welsh international, has done brilliantly there. Well, he did it when the cameras weren't rolling. They are now. And he scored a goal. Oh dear. Wasn't quite ready for that one. Last go then for Robbie Savage. Didn't fancy it on the left foot. on the right foot, and it's another one. The opposite corner this time. Robbie Savage ends with 2 goals in goals recreated, Lynsey.
What do you think of your efforts, Rob?
I thought my third one was sensational. I've got to say, it was an volley, more difficult technique than Macca's.
How hard is that in those boots?
Yeah, very hard, and it was like yours.
Right, we've got some questions for you, Robbie, on Facebook Live. James on Facebook is saying, should Buffon retire if he wins the Champions League tonight and finish on a high?
Oh, I think when you're a football player, that word retire is horrible. You know, you don't want to retire, and, you know, he probably wants to play as long as he can. If you win the Champions League, surely he'll probably want to defend it. That's how, you know.
And another World Cup, perhaps.
Another World Cup, yeah.
Still got it in him. Right, Steve on Facebook is saying, is Dani Alves the best signing in Europe this season? Free of course, from Barca. What a bit of business that was.
Yeah, incredible. You've seen how he played in the semi-finals for Juve, and I think he's the best right back in the world. People say about Kyle Walker, but I would say Dani Alves is definitely the best right back in the world. And we've seen Cafu, didn't we, in the Legends game yesterday, how good he was, and Roberto Carlos. And, you know, I think Dani Alves has to certainly be up there with those two.
Also, we've got Mark on Facebook saying, Gareth Bale, where should he go? Man United, Man City or Chelsea? Clearly Mark doesn't think he's staying at Real Madrid then.
Well, I was Gareth Bale. I do know him quite well, and, you know, I believe he loves the Spanish lifestyle. He is a legend over there, what he's achieved. It could be his 3rd European Cup tonight, couldn't it? So I'm sure he would like to stay at Real Madrid if he can play on a regular basis and regain full fitness. But if I was him and he did want to come home, I would say Manchester United.
Why?
Yeah, why? Because they've got Champions League football. You know, they've got a fantastic manager in Jose Mourinho. They've got some great youth coming through, the likes of Rashford, and I'm sure they'll buy 1 or 2, you know, superstars as well. So I think Manchester United will be great, and it's globally, you would say, as big as Real Madrid.
And just one more, Robbie. This is Robbie on Twitter, actually. Was it you? We obviously had a penalty shootout last year in the Madrid derby at San Siro. Robbie on Twitter says, if it goes to penalties tonight, who would you back to win it?
Oh, hard back Real Madrid, because they won it on the penalties last time, didn't they? So
against Buffon?
Well, it's a good question. That's a good question. Well, you didn't ask that question. Hang on, Lynsey says on Twitter, Robbie. He goes to who's going to win.
Do you think Real Madrid are going to win it though in normal time? Or?
I think normal time 1-0 to Real.
Well, we will find out later on. Thank you, Robbie. It is Juventus against Real Madrid in the Champions League final here in Cardiff, and you can see our coverage starts on BT Sport 2 at 6 p.m. tonight, and you can also see that game for free on YouTube as well. But thanks for watching. We'll see you later.